Hi there. Now we're going to do lesson 259. Let me remember that there is no sin. Paragraph 1. Sin is the only thought that makes the goal of God seem unattainable. Can you hear the profoundness of that? Sin is the only thought that makes the goal of God seem unattainable. So if you believe that you have sinned, if you believe that you're less than, which is what sin means, you're not equal to, you're less than, you're dirty, you have not measured up, you're unworthy. Sin is that you're not the same as God. You're not one with God. You're not equal in the substance that you are made of, which is God can only make like unto itself. We are made in the image of God, which means we are made in the same substance, which is love, pure love, the energy of love, the consciousness of love. Sin is the thinking that blocks us from knowing that what we are is one with God. We are the child of God, created by God. So the Course in Miracles is a course in training our mind to look at all of the obstacles we have built with thoughts by thinking, unlike God. And when you believe that you are not equal to God, you live your life as if you're separate from God. So let me read this again, the title of the lesson. Let me remember that there is no sin. We have to make a choice to remember that before we learned we were sinful. Question, where did that thought come from? Who taught that to me? And say, this might be what you believe, but it's not my truth. Now that I am discovering that I am created by a loving God as the presence of love on this planet. I am the bringer of love and light to the planet. So therefore, I cannot be anything other than love and light. So that means that there's nothing unworthy, sinful, not okay with me, because I am created exactly as God created me. So we're returning our mind to think with God and not to think with what we've been taught by people who forgot to think with God. All right, sentence number 2. What else could blind us to the obvious and make the strange and the distorted seem more clear? All right, the obvious. If we are made in the image of God and God is love, we cannot not be love. It's impossible to be anything other than love. So therefore, we have distorted our perception by believing things that are not true. Sentence 3. What else but sin engenders our attacks? What else but sin? When we believe that people are not good enough, not worthy enough, it justifies us, if we think that we're better than them, to attack them. It justifies our belief in that we're victims and vulnerable to others if we believe that we're not made the same and that we are a sinner. Either we're saying you're a sinner or we're saying I'm a sinner, one or the other. We've been taught to use that word sin, which is doesn't measure up, less than, whatever terminology you want to put to that word. It has a profound impact on our psyche when we believe that we are not worthy, that we're not good, that there's something wrong with us. And when we grow up believing there's something wrong with us, it gives us permission to behave that way. And because we've been doing this for thousands of years and it's gone unquestioned, bad behavior, we cannot live from the truth of our good behavior, our goodness as placed within us by God. Sentence number 4. What else but sin could be the source of guilt, demanding punishment and suffering? If we didn't think that there was anybody that was less than or better than, we wouldn't feel guilt when we hurt another. We wouldn't feel guilt when we hurt ourselves. But because we believe something that is not true, guilt is that energy inside of us, that voice for God inside of us that's waking up, that's saying that's not true. Because it feels uncomfortable and we haven't learned to be with our emotions, because it feels uncomfortable, we haven't explored what sin does to us, which is to make us feel guilty. The guilt is the indicator that we're believing something that is not true. All feeling bad in our body is nothing more than an indicator that we're believing thoughts that are not consistent with the truth of who we are. Our body is a communication device. If we are happy, we communicate love, joy, and peace. We're at ease. If we are communicating what is not true, ego thoughts, sinful thoughts, guilt, shame, fear, suffering, our body is in dis-ease. It is not at ease. We're not at peace. So our body gets uncomfortable. Because we don't explore the discomfort, we have learned to numb the discomfort. So we don't want to feel our guilt. Well, if we explored our guilt and questioned that, why do I feel guilty? Because I'm believing that there's somebody better than or lesser than I am. Is that thought true? No, it's not. Then there would be no guilt. That would get released. But we cannot explore our feelings until we begin to get comfortable that our feelings of discomfort are old, generationally passed down information that we have believed it, and it has caused the suppression of the truth of who we are, and that suppression causes that discomfort. We're pressing down on the truth, and it puts a lot of pressure on us. That's not comfortable. So no wonder so many of us, when we begin to feel the truth, it's like a release. We're letting go of energy. We are cleansing ourselves of untruths that have been pressed down inside of us and suppressed us. Now we're expressing the truth, and we release those things. Paragraph number 1, still sentence 5. And what but sin could be the source of fear, obscuring God's creation, giving love the attributes of fear and of attack? What but sin? Sin is the belief, nothing only than a thought that makes the goal of God impossible. That's all it is. Sin is just thinking that blocks us from the awareness of the presence of love, the presence of God inside of us. Let's go to paragraph 2, which is our prayer. Father, I would not be insane today. I would not be afraid of love, nor seek for refuge in its opposite. For love can have no opposite. You are the source of everything there is, and everything that is remains with you, and you with it. Father, I would not be insane today. Father, I am not going to think things that are not true today. I am not going to bring my mind into a state of confusion about the truth of who I am, because that causes me discomfort. And because I've been trained to not feel discomfort, I'm going to project it out on somebody else and blame them, when it's me believing something that is not true about me or them that I need to correct. Thank you, Father, for giving me the mind training that's allowing me to shift from fear to love, so that I can shift from the density of what is not true, of fear, of suffering, and lift into the higher frequency of love. Thank you, Father, for teaching me A Course in Miracles, sending Jesus so many times to speak to us. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for making me in a way that cannot ever be changed. I'm going to change my mind about who I am so that I can align with your knowingness of my perfection. Isn't that beautiful? Hope you enjoyed this lesson. See you in the next one.